This week, or just today, I guess, we are talking about spatial perspective landscapes. Okay, guys, this little lesson is to show spatial perspective, and I thought it would be fun to do Valentine's Day themed since Valentine's Day is on Sunday. And that's what this is. So, spatial perspective is showing things that are near and far. So, on the bottom here, it's called the foreground. The middle ground is right here, and then the background is up here. So you can see this little house, although it's not colored in, is in the background, and this house is in the foreground, and it's bigger. It gives the illusion that it's bigger, I should say. It is bigger, but it gives the illusion it's further away. And then I designed it with some hearts and the trees. So I'm going to go over a little step-by-step quickly to show you how I did this. So here's the fresh paper on the bottom. So we'll just draw a line across the bottom of your paper. Then we will create our 3D house. Now I'm going to go a little faster than I would in class only because you can pause it. So we'll do one line that's vertical. Vertical is up and down. And another line right parallel to it, which means it's side by side, so they will never cross. So math words and art today. A horizontal line to connect the two. From here, diagonal line. So one here and one here. So this is a very simple house. If you want to stop here, you can. But if you want to make a 3D looking house, you will draw a horizontal line again. And you can see that this, you can do it right from the top of the paper is a horizontal line. So you can make it perfectly, well, nothing's perfect, but make it horizontal like the top of your paper. That's how you check. And then this is the tricky part, not tricky, but you want to make a diagonal line right here. Parallel diagonal line. So this line is going in that direction. You want to try the best you can to do it in that direction as well. Then another horizontal line straight across. Now, you want to make sure you don't try to meet up with that line. What you do is you just bring this down further, okay? It's best to have this go further over, and then you connect them. Another vertical line that's parallel to the first two verticals. And now you have your 3D looking house. So it's showing form, that it has dimension. Then you can add whatever details you want. I will say I'm not going to add that many details on this one. I'll show you a few coloring techniques, but other than that, you're on your own on that. The next part will be the tree that's in the foreground. So over here on the left, I call it a YV tree. Just draw your tree. Let's make sure you can see. Yep, you can see. So draw your tree, and then we're going to bring your trunk, I should say. This is the Y part, okay? I call it YV because next I'm going to make the letter V in my tree. And then I'll make another V. And another V right next to each other. So I have 1, 2, 3 V's. From this V, I'll turn it into a Y. And then I'm going to keep going. Add a V, add a Y. And you can make these smaller and smaller as they get, you know, if you looked outside right now and you looked at a tree, you would see that the tree has branches, and as they grow out, they get smaller and smaller. Okay, and it's the same pattern over and over and over again. And then the next one, Y, V, Y. And mine are kind of straight. You know, trees aren't straight, so I'm going to wiggle them a little bit. V, and then they get smaller and smaller. Y. further back to the middle ground. So this is going to be kind of in the middle ground. Now, if you draw through the tree, don't draw all the way through, just go in between the spaces, or you could draw through lightly and then erase your lines, whatever you want, okay? So it shows that it's behind the tree. And then I'll do another house so that it looks like it's in the middle ground to show that we know what we're doing here. I always like to draw that so I know where to draw this one. Okay, there's my middle ground house. What up, middle ground house? And then the hill in the back, you could do Mount Werner if you wanted, and then go through here and you can draw. Here we go, just like that. So you now have 1, 2, 3 lines to show middle ground, foreground, middle ground. In the background, if we did a little tree, we'll do a little house back here. We got a little baby house. Just a little baby. And then we go here. And I've got my little bitty house back there. You can do a smaller tree if you wanted to. Over here, do your YV tree. I'll just sketch it in really quickly. YV, because I'm gonna add that color to that. If you want to do cute little evergreen trees, like this little evergreen tree, it'll be a little bit taller than the house. You can do some evergreen trees. I love Strawberry Park because you can actually just look outside and get motivated and get inspired by what you see outside. And we have these cute little evergreen trees all over the mountains surrounding us. All right, so now I've done my foreground, middle ground, background. I've done my 3D houses, so now it's time to color. All right, so there you have it, your middle ground, foreground, background, landscape drawing. Now you may design it either in Valentine's Day like this one, or in Among Us characters, or any way you want. Bring them to school if you want to, or you can hang it up in your house. Have fun drawing. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. See you in a week.